I was doing a nightclub in Oakland 16 years ago, and this is the first time that the trans community ever got mad at me that I knew about. And I was nobody. I just quit Chappelle's show. It was like a nothing hole-in-the-wall club, and I was doing some transgender jokes in Oakland. It was 16 years ago. My pronoun game was not as nice as it is today. I went too far. I said things like tranny and shit. I didn't know these words were bad, and a woman stood up and just gave me the business. Started screaming at me, and I'm sure it was a woman, but she kept calling me transphobic and all this shit. I'd never even heard these words before. It was really weird. I didn't trip. I just gave security the look like, get that bitch out of here. I kept it moving. And then she went to the press, and the next day, one of the gay papers wrote all the same things she had said to me about me in the paper. Misquoted the jokes and was calling me transphobic. And again, all these words, I'd never heard them before, but every time that I talked with anybody from that community since, they always repeat the talking points from that article. My least favorite of which being, and I hate this phrase, they say I was punching down on them. Punching down. The f*** does that mean? Now fast forward, it's 2019. I'm in a restaurant in Ohio, a very nice restaurant. It's Thanksgiving week. And to be honest, it's not a very nice restaurant, but it's a nice restaurant if you're a white person from Ohio that's never been anywhere before. Picture Chili's. I'm sitting at the bar, I'm having a drink by myself, and the only other person in the bar is a woman, a couple stools down, and she was alone, and she was older, and that made me feel sad because it was the holidays. So I told the bartender, send that woman a drink on me. She's trying to spread the cheer, and I wish I didn't. This woman wanted to talk. She wasn't mean, she was nice, but she just wanted to talk about shit that, the nigga trying to get drunk, don't want to hear about this bitch remodeling her bathroom, and I'm sitting there trying to be polite. Oh, subway towels, word. But then she hits a lick, piqued my interest. She says, my daughter is coming home for the holidays. Oh, that's great news. I'm glad you're not going to be alone. And then she goes on and on about how great her daughter is. I guess her daughter got a new agent, and she's out in Hollywood, she's in movies and on television and all this stuff. And as she's telling me this, I'm thinking, this woman is so sweet. She probably doesn't even know who I am or what I do for a living. Because I know what your daughter's out in Hollywood doing. And then she goes, would you like to see her picture? Oh, now I don't want to see this woman's picture, but what am I going to do? I go, okay, yeah, sure, I'd love to see the picture. And I grab the picture, and this is all I say. This is all I say. Oh, she's very beautiful. And as she puts the picture away, she looks mean all of a sudden, like she caught me in some kind of trap. What does that face mean? And then she goes, she's transgender. And I think to myself, oh, this bitch does know who I am. I really resented that trap because that trap doesn't let me be honest. If I was honest, I wouldn't fall for it. I just looked at the picture like, ooh, look at that big chiseled jawline, that big thick Joe Rogan neck. Is that a dude? Is your daughter a man? Can't say that shit. It's really annoying. Fast forward, now it's a couple days later. It's the Wednesday for the Thursday that's Thanksgiving, and I'm in a totally different bar. And this bar, trust me, is not a nice place. It's foul. It's one of those bars where the top shelf should be under the sink. This is where the poor whites drink, the tiki torch whites. You know what I mean? Them white people, they believe in Q and they love Trump. You know what I mean? Like Michigan white people. I remember I was at this bar one time. This is that kind of bar it is. I was in there one time, I was and I turned around to everybody in the bar, I go, hey everybody, I'm gonna buy everyone in the bar around the drinks. And all the motherfuckers like, hoorah! And the bartender knew I was drunk, so she pulled me aside. Miss Chappelle, are you sure about that? That's going to be $16. Tough time for the whites. And this was a holiday weekend, you know what I mean? These motherfuckers having a rootin' tootin' time. They was in there partying, making all them noises. Woo! Ow! Yow! You know all them noises white people make before lynching? They was doing all that shit. I was drunk. I looked over my shoulder. I thought I was tripping. I guess who was in the bar? I thought I was seeing things. I looked across the room and I saw the trans bitch from the picture. I couldn't believe it. I said, what is a trans person doing in a place like this? This is very dangerous behavior. And she was with two big, buff, gay black dudes. I didn't know these dudes, but I know they was gay. If they had a mouth, they wouldn't look any gayer than they did just sitting there. They had 1980s gay face. You know what that is? Remember in the 80s when gay people looked surprised all the time? Close your mouth, nigga. What's surprising? You know what I mean? But they was huge. They looked like Juicy Smouille's trainers. And I'm thinking, man, these motherfuckers in a line of trouble. So what I do is I stand up, and everybody in the bar likes me, so I make a big show of it to make sure that everyone can hear me. I walk right up to her, and I go, hey, I just met your mother the other night, and she told me all the great things you're doing in Hollywood, and I cannot believe that someone from a podunk place like this can achieve all that. I'm so proud of you. Welcome home. And the whole bar said, hoorah. And I said, whoosh. That ought to buy her some time. You know what I mean? A couple more drinks and these fellas are gonna start asking her for some might not have. And she was very gracious. She said, thank you so much. And we shook hands. And as she was shaking my hand, her face turned mean, like her mom's. And she said, do you mind not punching down on my people? Oh, I don't like that. Normally I would have let it go, but I was drunk. I said, what might you mean, bitch? I was careful to call her a bitch because I didn't want to blow her cover. Turns out she wasn't hiding. She was loud, she was proud. She let me have it in front of everybody. Screaming at me, all the talking points from that article. You transphobic, this and that. Kept clapping her hands in my face. Let me tell you something. I said, where you learned this from? Black Let me tell you something, honey. So annoying. She kept calling transgenders her people. Isn't that weird? My people this, my people that. I said, what do you mean your people? Was y'all kidnapped in Transylvania and brought here as slaves? She said, my people have struggled for decades, honey. Decades. And I looked at them gay black dudes like, is there anything you niggas can tell this bitch? Clifford. I'm exaggerating. She's actually a very nice person, and I'm cool with her now, but boy, that shit got on my nerves. And it got on my nerves because whenever someone says that to me, I know they've never seen me for themselves. They just repeat what they've heard. Any of you who have ever watched me know that I have never had a problem with transgender people. If you listen to what I'm saying, clearly, my problem has always been with white people. I have been arguing with the whites my entire career. And just when I thought I had you guys on the ropes, you changed all the rules. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I'm a girl now, nigga. Must treat me as such. Call me a girl, nigga. It's annoying as fuck. No. Go back tonight after the show. Watch every special I did on Netflix. Listen to everything I ever said about that community. I'll go through them. I said, how much do I have to participate in your self-image? I said, you shouldn't discuss this in front of black people. I said, I know niggas in Brooklyn that wear high heels just to feel safe. I asked you, why is it easier for Bruce Jenner to change his gender than it is for Cassius Clay to change his name? If you listen to what I'm saying, I'm not even talking about them, I'm talking about us, and they don't listen. It's very annoying. And they've canceled people that are more powerful than me. They canceled J.K. Rowling. My God, J.K. Rowling wrote all the Harry Potter books by herself. She sold so many books, the Bible worries about her. And they canceled her because she said in an interview, and this is not exactly what she said, but effectually, she said gender was a fact. And then the trans community got mad as shit. They started calling her a TERF. I didn't even know what the that was. But I know that trans people make up words to win arguments. So I looked it up. TERF is an acronym. Stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. This is a real thing. This is a group of women that hate transgender. They don't hate transgender women, but they look at trans women the way we blacks might look at blackface. It offends them. Like, ooh, this bitch doing an impression of me. Now, I shouldn't speak on this because I am not a woman, nor am I a trans. But as we've established, I am a feminist. That's right. I'm Team TERF. I agree, man. Gender is a fact. You have to look at it from a woman's perspective. Look at it like this. Caitlyn Jenner, whom I've met, wonderful person. Caitlyn Jenner was voted Woman of the Year. Her first year as a woman. Ain't that something? Beat every bitch in Detroit. She's better than all of you. Never even had a period. Ain't that something? Oh, I'd be mad as shit if I was a woman. I'd be mad if I was me. If I was in a BET Awards sitting there and they're like, and the winner for Nigga of the Year, Eminem, my man. Gender is a fact. This is a fact. Every human being in this room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. That is a fact. Now, I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice. Oh, buddy, I'm in trouble now. You know, if you black in show business and do too well, it's scary, nigga. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of the casino while the getting's good, while you're still winning. If you don't walk away from the table, that's how niggas get Kevin Harted. You already know. That's my man. I'm just saying, if he gotta say out, well, it's just a matter of time for me. But you know why I be thinking sometimes I want to stop doing comedy? And you know, I don't want to sound like a braggart saying this, but the real reason I want to stop is because I'm too goddamn good at it. I'm dope, nigga. Like, no, I'm not even exaggerating. It's not exciting. Every night before I come out on stage, I'll be backstage like, I'm sure this is gonna go well. And it always does. I'm so good at writing jokes, and this is not even an exaggeration. I actually write jokes backwards. I will write a punchline with no particular setup in mind. I just put it on a scrap of paper, and I'll throw that scrap of paper in my fishbowl. I have a fishbowl in my house filled with random punchlines. And every once in a while, I'll shake the bowl, and I'll dig in there and just pull one out and see if I can make that shit work. And I picked one for this special. It's not an easy punchline to pull off. Are you ready? Yeah. Here it goes. The punchline is, so I kicked her in the pussy. I haven't finished the joke yet. I just know whatever happens in the beginning of the joke, at the end of the joke, for some reason, I'm gonna kick somebody in the pussy. And it's going to be hilarious. And you know what's weird? I've always been this talented. I can't remember a time when I wasn't. You know, when I was growing up, I was probably about 8 years old, and at the time, we were living in Silver Spring. Yeah. Yes. Common misconception about me in D.C. A lot of people think I'm from the hood. That's not true. But I never bothered to correct anybody because I wanted the streets to embrace me. As a matter of fact, I kept it up as a ruse. Like sometimes I'll hang out with rappers like Nas and them, and these motherfuckers will start talking about the projects. Yo, it was wild in the PJs, yo. And I'll be like, word, nigga, word. But I don't know. I have no idea. My parents did just well enough so that I could grow up poor around white people. And to be honest, when Nas and them talk about the projects, nigga, I used to get jealous because it sounded fun. Everybody in the projects was poor, and that's fair. But if you were poor in Silver Spring, it felt like it was only happening to you. Nas does not know the pain of that first sleepover at a white friend's house. And you come back home on Sunday and just look at your parents like, y'all need to step your game up. Everything at Timmy's house works. Remember the first time you saw that? In a cold winter, and you'd be at a white friend's house and see the motherfuckers in their living room without their coats on? Timmy was one of my first white friends, like, in my life, man. He's a good dude, too. He moved to Silver Spring from Utah, of all places. I guess his family was affiliated with that Mormon church they got down there, and me and him used to hang out. And one day I was at his house, we were just hanging out, and Timmy says, Dave, why don't you stay for dinner tonight? I said, oh, man, I'd love to, but I can't. If I'm not home before dark, my mother will kill me. That was a lie. My mother had several jobs. I hadn't seen her in like 3 or 4 days. And the only reason I lied to Timmy was because at that point in my life, it was my experience that white dinner wasn't delicious. I'd rather go home and fry some bologna or some shit like that. But then old Timmy threw me a curveball I wasn't expecting. He said, oh, it's too bad you can't stay, Dave, because Mom made stovetop stuffing. I said, what the fuck, stovetop? Well, hold on, nigga, let me make some phone calls real quick. I had seen that commercial so many times, I had dreamt of getting my hands on some of that stovetop stuffing. And finally, I met a mother that actually had a box of stovetop in the house. I couldn't miss this opportunity, so I pretended to call my mother. And then I came back and I said, Timmy, you're not gonna believe this great news. Mom said I can stay. And he said, fantastic. He said, why don't you come with me and we'll help set the table and then we can say the blessing. I had no interest in setting this table or saying these crazy ass Mormon prayers. I just wanted that goddamn stuffing. So I told Timmy, I said, you know what, I'd love to help, but let me go wash my hands first. My plan was simple. Wash my hands slowly, and by the time I'm done, the table will be set, the blessing will be said, and all that there will be left to do is eat. Went to the bathroom. I washed my hands very slowly. I must have been in there for about 10 minutes. And suddenly, one of his mothers came to the door. She was like, hi, David, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, Timmy tells me that you're planning on staying for dinner. I said, I hope that's not a problem, ma'am. She says, no, it's no problem. In fact, we'd love to have you. It's just that we weren't expecting company. And I'm afraid there's not enough stovetop stuffing for everybody. So I kicked her in the Bam! Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I'm dope, nigga. I told you what I was gonna say and you still didn't see it coming. And that's why I make the big bucks. Oh my God. But there's a more important reason that I would stop doing comedy right now. And this reason is the real reason that's been percolating, and it really is the crowd, not you. I'm talking about the crowd on the big stage. It's too hard to entertain a country whose ears are so brittle. Motherfuckers are so sensitive, the whole country is turned into bitch-ass niggas. Everything you say upsets somebody. You know, I can remember when it all started. It was when I was doing Chappelle's show. When I was doing Chappelle's show, I used to do the show, and then on the weekends I do like concerts and shit like that. So I'm doing a concert, and there was a couple in the front row, beautiful couple. The wife was obviously Asian. You could see it in her face. The husband, this motherfucker, mysterious to say the least. Couldn't quite pinpoint where he was from. Caramel-colored fella, very nice hair, but he could have been from anywhere. Bangladesh, Mexico, I can't guess with a nigga this. All I knew for sure about this guy is that his wife was a bitch. I could see that in her face too. No, he was laughing and having a good time, and she was scowling at me at a goddamn comedy show. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized at some point that she was pregnant, and I was smoking on stage. I said, oh my God, that's probably why she's mad. So I started to put my cigarette out, but then she hit me with one of them fake non-smoker calls. So I just kept smoking. I thought to myself, bitch, that babe will be fine, relax. And I tried to break the tension. I just asked her, that's all I said. I go, hey, where are you guys from anyway? And I could tell that she was on to me. She goes, very condescendingly, she says, I'm from California. If you're asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. And her husband was just cool about the shit. He was like, I'm Mexican, bro. I said, well, I'm sorry if I offended you by asking, but you're a very beautiful couple. And miss, there's no question that you're gonna give birth to the hardest working baby this world has ever seen. That's not a bad joke. She got very upset. She got up to leave immediately, but she didn't just leave. She had to take one last dig at me on the way out. I will never buy one of your fucking DVDs again, Dave Chappelle. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, Chinese people don't buy DVDs. And the crowd went crazy. We were all laughing, having a good time. I didn't even think anything of it. And then just 3 days later, this lady sends a fucking letter to my promoter telling him not to book me for shows anymore because I was, quote, racist, and I'm quoting her, insensitive to the nature of my interracial marriage. I was like, word, bitch, I was. If she had just done a little bit of research, she would know that I myself am in an interracial marriage. That's right. In fact, my wife is Asian too. Surprise, bitch, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. But my wife's not Chinese. She's Filipino. That's right. And our kids are Puerto Rican somehow, so there you go. But I don't give a fuck about interracial marriage. In fact, you know what? My mother is half white. A lot of people don't know that. Well, all right, you were a little too excited, but okay. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. You can't tell looking at me, but if I grew my hair out, you would think you was at a fucking Cat Williams concert. My shit is beautiful. But motherfuckers are just taking it too far. I don't know why or how everybody got this goddamn sensitive. You know who hates me the most? The transgender community. Yo, yeah, these motherfuckers. I mean, I didn't realize how bad it was. I was really mad about that last Netflix special. It's tough, man. I don't know what to do about it because I like them. I always have. Never had a problem with them. You know, just fucking around. As a matter of fact, I think I make fun of everybody. And I mean, as a group of people, they have to admit, it's kind of fucking hilarious, man. I'm sorry, bro. It's like, I've never seen somebody in such a hilarious predicament not have a sense of humor about it. They're born feeling like there's something other than they're born as, and that's kind of funny, you know? I mean, it's funny if it's not happening to you. It's like that white black bitch that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She always says that. She's a white woman, but then she dressed up like a nigga and shot her way up to the very top of blackness. And I always wanted to meet her just so I could understand. I just wanted to like have dinner with her so I could just look in her eyes and call her a nigger to her face. The fuck is that bitch talking about? I identify black. That is trans talk, lady. Stop biting. Stop biting. There's a big difference between her and a trans. The difference between her and a trans is I believe transgenders. I don't understand them either, but I know they mean what they say. Them niggas cut they dick. That's all the proof I need. I've never seen somebody just throw their dick away. Don't need it. I don't understand, but I believe you and I support your decision, motherfucker. But how far is Rachel willing to go? What is Rachel willing to do so that we blacks can believe that she believes she's actually one of us? Bitch, are you willing to put a lien on your house so that you can invest in a mixtape that probably won't work out? She didn't even change her name. Didn't even change her name. Her name is Rachel. I can't believe in that name. If you want my support, you're gonna have to change your name to the blackest shit I've ever heard. But you're gonna have to change your name to Draymond Green. I don't know a blacker name than that. That shit is black on paper. If you type Draymond Green into Airbnb, that shit will log off automatically.
It's great having it. I've been married for 7 years, and so now we just have a 1-year-old daughter. So it's getting pretty serious, and this is what over the edge. We were living in New York when my daughter was to be born, but I'm from Tennessee, so we flew home, and my daughter was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. Like, I don't need her growing up thinking she's baby. So I was like, you start where we start. All right. That. It was wild. Does anybody have kids here? Or a couple? One? The rest is like when this city dies. All right. Yeah. It's wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, I told my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to see anything. All right. It's going to be gross. I wish it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now, like, do you want to deliver the baby? We'll do most of it. They just pull the baby out, and then they just tell you, they're here, cut the umbilical cord. They just tell you to do it like real fast. Like, I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part, and they were like, that's not. I was like, oh, maybe, you did go to doctor school for this. I'm doing minor surgery right now. And then they just hand you your baby, and they're like, all right, we'll see ya. And that's when you're like, I'd really like your help now. Like, this is. I need you to live with me or something like that. The first question I asked, they should have probably kept. Like, I was like, how much do you feed it? And that'd be a lot. I was buying a hamster at a pet store. The big thing they tell you, the thing they say, they're really big on they're like, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby. That's like the #1 goal. And they tell it to you, like, they're almost like, obviously you're going to want to shake baby, but. It would be so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. That would be. And then they have a video of a guy that's like, here's what I do instead of my baby. Like, I take walks, for instance. I walk 70 miles or something. I walk a lot. Then I signed a certificate, like I was in kindergarten, that said, all right, I promise, I swear to God, I won't shake the baby. Asking me about this. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. That's all it's about. And the first night home, she was like, you're like delirious, you're just confused and tired, and like, you're trying for like 6 hours. And I was like sitting there, I was like, wait, are we supposed to shake this baby? Like, when we do it, this seems like when you would do it. But we didn't shake her, so cool. We have rocked aggressively, but she had to go. Went to the doctor to get when she was 9 months old. You have to do like a 9-month-old checkup. So we go to the doctor, and she has to get a shot. And it's like the worst when babies get shots because they don't know what's going on. Like, she's just looking it up like, this day's going unbelievable. Like, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Why would anything go wrong? And then you're looking at her like it's about to go wrong. You don't even sort of know how wrong it's going to be. So she gets the shot. So we go to her, because we're going to hold her and console her. But she doesn't. She's just fine with the shot. And we're just sitting there like the doctor's surprised. Like, my wife's like, I was like, maybe we should also see if she's going to be when they get a shot. Maybe that's what we should look into. That make you nervous? I would cry if you gave me a shot. Pretty fine with pain at 9 months old. Like, in 20 years, I'm either going to be telling her, like, look, we love you so much, and we're happy that you've accomplished everything. Or I will be on the news going, we love it, but you need to turn yourself in right now. Just do the right. So I was born in 1979. And the reason I say that, Because if you are my age or just right around my age, very like maybe 78 to 80, you might realize, or maybe you don't know, I've never been called a millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called, Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the lucky ones. And it's true, we're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. Like you would go out and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's like, what are you, a zillionaire? Like, I mean, you could. But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper. And then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when a Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch like Netflix in your hotel room. So I get in my room and I turn it on, and my Chromecast is not working. So I called down to the front desk, and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, I was in the Army, you're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where like, they all had to go at that age, so just saying. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said, Bob, bro. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? So he goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. Send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up and he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I got to let him in. So he's in, comes to my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember like the back of his calves were touching the bed. And I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you going to go? Are you cold? Do you want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons. And I said, I don't know how to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm going to turn the shower on, open a window. Let's try everything. You know, let's just see. Maybe it turns on. Who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it. And he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. At this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude. I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. I was like, all right. Now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's going to fix this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you, you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know because he just didn't come to work that night. So, didn't call in, nothing. And I found out because the old guy called me because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. He hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well, I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. We've been traveling. I've been traveling all over the country during this COVID. And scene is, look, in the middle of the country, they're doing good. I went to a NASCAR race. They all had their mask on. They're doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of people are doing it. We're trying, you know. A lot of stuff, we take our temperature. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. They took my temperature. You gonna tell me that teenager doesn't know what he's doing? Is that what you're trying to... You don't think he's going to doctor school? That's how he gets started, is he takes temperatures, and he's like, all right, 45 degrees, you're good. Yeah, you're like 60 degrees from a problem. So, I don't, you know, and they're not even worried about it. They just don't, 57 degrees. You're like, yeah, I'm dead, dude. That's not good. This one guy was like, does that even work? He goes, I don't know. When it beeps, I just tell him to go ahead.
This is where one kid said beep. I don't think his beep worked, and he goes beep, and I was like, "Was that?" And he goes, "You're fine."
Went to school in Tennessee, I went to a community college for an entire year, and I do not have one credit. It didn't none of it counted. The reason is because I had to take remedial classes. Which remedial basically means they're like, look, we have no idea how your high school let you leave, and we are shocked, and we're actually going to look into it. But until the end, here's your classes you're going to take. Here's what I took. I took math, like the book said math. Like that's what. How crazy is that? They stopped calling it math after 6th grade.
Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41. My daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? When to use a or an in a sentence. I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out. You know, you just go, that feels right. And that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. And if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone.
So I'm married. We have a lot of married people here. A few. Some. That's fun. It's fun. I don't know. I've been married 4 years now, and it's getting pretty serious, to tell you the truth. A lot more serious than I thought. I always have, I got other buddies that are getting married now, so they always want to come talk to me. So, I always tell them, they're like, what's it like? I'm like, here's what it is. I'm just telling everybody. Marriage is like, you ever go to a concert and you see a mosh pit and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit at all. I'm going to leave and go get some beer. Then the mosh pit's like, didn't you drink last night? All right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back and let me live my life? Why? If you go to Europe, just so you know, it's the most old. It's very old. You think we're old, and you get there and you're like, good night. What have y'all been doing over here? You just walk around, they're like, that building is from 8. Good golly.
We take her out. We go do stuff. I would take her to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. You can go there. They had COVID in 84. So it can't even survive in there. That's what, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, you get out. We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chuck can is just robotic. The drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. There was a Chuck E. Cheese that got caught. If people didn't eat all their pizza, they would just put it back out on the buffet. And that would shut down any normal business. And with Chuck E. Cheese, they have thrived. When I read the story, I was like, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought we agreed that that's fine. I didn't even know what the article was about.
I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books.
But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds?
We went to Europe last year. Europe's very old. That's what I learned last time in Europe. Like, because you think we're old as a country, and you get there and you're like, good night. You know, how long have y'all been over here? Australia, very far away. Farther than I thought. Our Earth, a little bigger than I thought it was. And I think we should have went the other way as well, but the pilot had different plans. I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So it was like a new life, you know? I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I'll tell you. If you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away, though. I thought you bet your life, and it's maybe 8:30. 6 p.m. You're like, I don't know how people are out.
How are they doing this?
What are they doing? Why won't the sun go down?
This is it. This is, it's something. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. Very excited. I tried to, I'm always like trying to lose weight, and then like you think, I'll tape a special. That will, that'll do it. And then you just kind of, next thing you know, it's already started. So, I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I got to get it together. Like I like to golf. And so I would sometimes bring clubs and I'll golf on the road. And so I was in Florida and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back. And I go to the trunk of my car and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn. I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry. Honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not. He's like, I don't know. That's a dead ringer for Olivia. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him. So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40, it just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And the reason when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. Thank you. And all, guys, in all seriousness, I don't know. No, look, the it's getting very advanced, all right? I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. And this wasn't in, Beverly Hills or like Miami or something. You feel like they would have something like that. And this was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And if you don't know where Mount Juliet is, it's fine. But I bet you can tell that doesn't sound like a town you would drive through. I bet they have a pretty good dog bakery here. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. If I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. Maybe they're usually busy. Maybe I was on there on a slow dog birthday day. I don't know. All right? She told me everything was organic, and I was like, that's good. That's what I like to hear. All right? This is for that dog that's outside licking gum off the sidewalk right now. And if anybody deserves organic food in our house, this little girl, I'm not going to waste it on her. It's for that dog that's wandered out on the highway because it doesn't know what cars are. But look, next time you guys go to Mount Juliet for vacation, let me tell you, look, do them a favor, go by there, all right? Swing through, buy some dog cakes. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be up front with you guys. I bought a dog bakery, it's not going that good, all right? We're almost done, so don't worry about it. And I think you can tell. I always think people can, they're like, he's talking about dog bakeries. He's about out of stuff. Where's this going? Oh, me and my buddy, we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. What do? That's a huge thing, dying in your yard. You can't just shoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to probably try to get another horse to help you do it. And that's not easy. That's what the blinders were invented for. Because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back. No, look. You got to get your friends to help you do it. And you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You gotta lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over, bring your truck and some gloves. And when they get there, let me tell you, they're gonna see it, all right? Everybody saw it. It was next to the road. And they're gonna pull into that driveway and just be like, I don't think they're getting a divorce at all. I think we're here to move that dead horse is what I think. Let's let him bring it up, all right? Make him ask. But I'll be shocked if we don't touch that dead horse today. And if you ever have to move a dead horse, I've thought a lot about all this. You want to be the first one to the horse, all right? You don't want someone else to tell you where to grab a dead horse. So you run out there like you love it. Like you're like, this is what I hoped it was. And get to the hoofs in the front and be like, all right, I'm here. You guys decide where you guys want to be. One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house. And it was a 4-flight walk up. And so 4 flights, obviously I walk faster than Nick. And I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live. So that's fun, just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, like, you've been gone for a long time. Did you go back outside? He goes, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into someone's, he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident. I mean, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, I took a typing class in 7th grade. That's how... And I thought it was a waste of my time. In my head, I was like, who's going to be typing? Cursive is the future. That's why I like, as the future, I don't know what's going, I don't know technology. I don't know what AI is. I don't think you get to know what AI is and also see a donkey jump off a high dive. I think it was one or the other. And I saw the donkey, so I'm out. If I send an email and it says the file is too big, I don't know what to do. My best guess is I try to resend it. That's what I try to do. You know how dumb that is? The computer's like, no. And I go, what about now, though? One of the first things they had to do, car manufacturers, before crash test dummies were invented, they would use a pig in a car wreck. So they'd sit a pig, I guess upright, and this little pigs are smart. Pretty good day for this pig. You gonna let me drive a car? Pretty fun day. He's got his elbow out. Are y'all kidding me right now? You gonna let me drive this car? I don't even know what that shows you. Pigs don't have necks. That's what I was around when I was growing up. I mean, I look at my daughter and I have more in common with a pilgrim. And pilgrims believed in witches.
I'm excited to be here. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. And couple, all right. Some people. And we were married, and me and my wife were in Nashville last summer, and we went out on the lake with some of our friends, and we were floating around in the water, and there was a guy in a boat, like right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that and make you stare at this guy the rest of the day. So I'm staring at him, and then I look at her, and she's staring at him. I feel like she's staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him because I was like, I'm gonna see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her, you know? We were both putting so much pressure on this guy, and we have a daughter. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and we took her to Disney World, and I made the mistake of like telling my friends. They were just like, I don't know why you're taking her, you know, just wasting money. She's not gonna remember it. And it's like it's exciting. Like she believes in Minnie Mouse. Like it's fun to see her get excited. Like, what should I do? Should I just put her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not going to waste any of my money on you, you know? I live near Montreal. I've been here a few times. Last time I was here, had a bit of a too much of a good time. Is that how you should say it? I was staying here at the hotel, got super drunk, and locked myself out of my hotel room completely naked. And I remember getting all the way out, and then I hear the door shut, which is the most boring noise I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm standing there, I'm like, what are you gonna do? And I was like on the 7th floor, and I was like, oh, window, I'll just jump out of that, you know? That's easier than talking to my wife about this. And I looked to the left, and there was a cleaning lady, and she's just staring at me. And I'm just like, doing here? And you know why she's there? Because it's like 11 a.m. That's why she's there. That's how far in the day it was. And I looked at her just like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, this happens to the best of us, right? And she was like, it's never happened before. And I don't even have I don't have like a body either that's like, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I did her a favor. I was like, come on, it's your lucky day, all right? Take it in. I do nothing to try to lose weight. I'm just kind of riding it out, seeing here's where we're at right now. What I've started doing, though, is I tell people to weigh 300 pounds because, yeah, I'm a pretty dumb guy. I don't think it's pretty obvious. And It's, I think I've thought about like time travel. Like if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I'd be like, hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket. And he'd be like, yeah, how do they do it? It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know doing it. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, what's a satellite? Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. It's like a round metal dish or something. Like it's got to go pretty high in the air. I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, you know? Who's the next president? Oh boy.
The dumbest I've ever been talked to. I like to golf, and so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, the llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you got to mail it in. I've never been a big mail it in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I've never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're going to be like, you should put 1 more on. And they changed the price of stamps. Not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. It always, like, it shot down my dream because I wanted to play college basketball, and that didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because, yeah, the church can let you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, you know. That would be, I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah. He is our captain, so. And church ball was a lot different, too, because we played, it was a half court, no three-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they gave us a basketball. We didn't have a ball. Like, we would just stand out there and play on honesty. So you'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you doing it. It was moral points. It counts like. Animals have it the worst. They die terrible deaths. I heard a story. This kid, he had 2 goldfish. So he grabbed one of them, he squeezed it, it exploded. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't feel bad for that goldfish. Like, you know, he died quickly. I feel bad for the other goldfish that just has to deal with that trauma now. You know how insane that would be? They're not gonna bite the other fish. He's killing them. Like, he's got to. Imagine if you're locked in a room with someone and they just exploded. It would change your life forever. You're like, can I get someone else to talk to? They're like, no. You're like, what? I'm just gonna deal with this in my own head? This is the worst life ever. I've got to travel a lot, which is fun. I get to go to like different countries, and I don't deserve to go. Like, I don't know where these countries are at.
I just go. I didn't learn about any of it. Like, I learned about Tennessee. I learned about the states that touched us in case they attacked. And, yeah, and I was test was Europe, and that's where all the gays live. So I didn't have a passport, you know? I was young.
We're doing homework, too. Our daughter's starting to bring it all home. Homework, first and second grade was awesome. Third grade, you're like, okay. They throw some stuff in, you're like, oh, all right. All right. It's, okay. Learning it earlier than we used to, huh? Like, I don't even know if that's true, but she brought home Common Core math. That's fun. It's a new math they invented. No heads up. Give it to parents that never learned it. It's just a whole new. I mean, it's unbelievable. Why when they bring it home, you got to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. I don't even understand it. If you know it, if you don't know Common Core, it's just a new math. And the goal of Common Core is to use one sheet of paper for every problem. You just want to keep breaking the problem down. You put the problem at the top, and it just keeps going. And then what's even funnier is you see old math in the middle of it. As you break it down, old math gets in there, and you're like, oh, do that at the top. I don't even know what we're doing. And it's not like old math isn't working. I mean, old math's doing, I don't get incorrect change everywhere just going, this stupid old math. It's a long way to get at the same answer. I told my wife, it feels like if you knocked on my front door and I opened it, and you said, can I come in? And I was like, do you mind walking in and coming in through the back door? And you'd be like, does the front door not work? I'm like, no, it works. I use it. A lot of people still use it. But the way is to go jump the fence and come in the back and meet me at this same spot. I was with a buddy, and we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse. I mean, just laid out in someone's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse. Like it dying. Like you don't fast forward that far. You know, that's a huge thing, dying in your yard. That's the weight of a horse. You know, I mean, you can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and be like, let's try to get another one before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to possibly get in the horse to help you do it. And that's not going to be easy. You know, I think that's what the blinders are for, because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back here. Or you got to get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You know, you think it's hard to get them to help you move a couch, try a dead horse. I mean, you got to lie to them. You got to just be like, we're getting a divorce. We hate each other. Just come over. Bring your truck, though. And when they pull in there, let me tell you, they're going to see it. All right, everybody saw it. It was next to the road. So they're going to pull into that driveway and be like, man, I don't think they're getting a divorce at all. I think we're here to move that dead horse is what I think. And I say, let's let him bring it up, make him ask, but I will be shocked if we don't touch that dead horse today. And look, if you ever have to move a dead horse, I've clearly thought about it. And you want to be the first one to the horse. You don't want someone else to tell you where to grab a dead horse. So you just run out there like you love it, like it's the third one you've done that day, and get to the hoofs. Go ahead and start lifting and be like, you guys get where you guys got to get, some guys down there, and let's just get it over with. I mean, I think what I saw growing up, I mean, we would go watch, my dad's a magician. So we would go watch my dad do magic at the Wilson County Fair. Which county fairs are great. If you've never, they're still going. I don't think the government knows about them, but I mean, we ride these rides that were on the interstate an hour ago. Went to Australia as well. Australia is very far away. I'm gonna tell you, our Earth is bigger than I thought it was. We flew 16 hours, over 500 miles an hour. Barely made it. Barely. I think we went the wrong way as well. And to make fun of my generation, just so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to skip over. Another hotel I was at, another syrup incident, actually. I mean, I'm a big fan of waffles, so syrup, I'm around syrup quite a bit. And at a Holiday Inn Express, so the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? That's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, he's not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it, it's batter and syrup.